Hello, my lovely YouTube crew. Forgive my voice, I was shouting at the racing yesterday. But I really wanted to talk to you about leading because I saw a tweet from a very well-meaning person who is worried about horses pulling their humans about the place. And she rightly felt that that was both uncomfortable and potentially dangerous. And she wanted to give a solution. And her solution was that those people should use a chiffney. Now, I really try not to criticise other people's horsemanship. Red mare, what's that face? But I am going to say that I do profoundly disagree. I completely agree with the sentiment. I profoundly disagree with the solution. Personally, I have to be honest about this, I really, really hate chiffneys. They're sort of leading bits and they're quite severe and they can really hurt a horse if they're used badly. So what I prefer to do is just teach my horse to lead and teach them, as you can see, to stand still. So I could stand here and talk for 20 minutes, don't worry, I won't. And she probably wouldn't move. She might take a couple of steps. But that's all baked into the horsemanship I practice. In fact, you don't really teach them to stand still. That arises from the way we work them. So basically, whenever I offer her a place to rest, she takes it. That's what the standing still is. And then if I ask her to do something, she'll do something. But if I'm not asking her to do anything, she won't do anything. So it's very restful for both of us. And you can see she's a little bit concerned. She can hear Flo making a noise down there. And yeah, so she's not completely 100% relaxed, is she? But she is completely still. And that's, in a way, the first step towards the leading. And I was thinking about this, in particularly if it's in terms of race horses. The people who work in racing, they might do 4 or even 5 horses. They're not going to have time to teach them all the stuff I teach my horses. And so I was wondering, could I take the leading as a thing on its own? So you don't need to do all the rest of the stuff, which is kind of a life's work. But could you just do traditional horsemanship but teach the horse to lead? And I absolutely think you can. So for those of you who are interested, if you'd like a horse who is soft as butter on the rope, this is how you get it. The first thing I suggest is to get a lovely long rope. This one's about, oh, she's coming, good girl. This one's about 13 feet. And it's got quite a heavy clip. I'd actually prefer a lighter clip, but that one's okay. And then this is a lovely halter from my friend and mentor, Warwick Schiller. It's a really good one, really well made. And it's not too thick and it's not too thin. The thin ones can be painful on their face because they've got nerves on that face. And as with anything, you know, I don't ride with a bit. That's just me. I feel safer in a halter. But it's not the bit itself that can make your horse uncomfortable. It's the hands, obviously. So same with a rope halter. You don't want to be hauling on that or jabbing on that. No. Oh, are we moving? Yes, come on in. But I like it because it's more of a directed instrument than, say, a leather halter or a webbing halter. So those are the 2 bits of kit. Short rope is too flimsy and doesn't have enough feel in it, and it doesn't let me get the distance. I like to give my horses plenty of space. So a short rope would end about there, and I'm too close to the horse then. So you've got your bit of kit, and you've got a horse who pulls you around. Now this is going to be a little bit hard to demonstrate because she's such a good walker. But so we'll have to hypothesize. So I'm just going to ask her to walk on with me. Come on, Noodle. Yeah? There, good girl. Okay. Right, good girl. Okay? And she's saying, can we pause? I heard a really lovely thing the other day, and it's really helped me when I think of my horses. She's paused there, and I wanted her to walk. And the normal thing that you think is she's saying no, and I'd like her to say yes. But somebody put it brilliantly, and I think this might have been one of the wise old men, the Ray Hunts or the Tom Dorrances. They said, your horse is making a counteroffer. So that's her counteroffer. And then I'm going to say, thank you very much, I see that. And I'd like to put another offer to you, which is to move forward. So I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on the rope. There we go. Good girl. Yes. And there's another counteroffer. I want to stop and look over there, whatever that is. And I'm going to make her an offer. Excuse me. Which is to walk on. Yes, good girl. Lovely. There we go. Now if you see, she's just walking with me and we're having another stop. Always good when the demonstration video goes well. Walk on. Good girl. Yeah, so now imagine this is your bargee horse, and imagine that she's just pulling you down that path. She's gone on ahead. So what you do is you don't stop her. There's no in this exercise. You use the energy of the walk, you let the rope out, and then you just bring them round and turn them in a nice circle. Good girl, see? There's that hind leg. And now that's hard work, you see? So I'm not pulling, just asking her to come, little pressure there because she stopped. Asking her to come round, crossing over those hind legs. Good. So that's just saying that's hard work, and then we walk on. And normally, you'll only need to do that with an intelligent horse a couple of times, right? So say I've got my pulley horse, doesn't know how to work off a fingertip touch, and she's barged on, and then I just use the energy and turn, and turn, and turn, and turn. Good girl. And turn. And then we walk on. So what that is very basically making the wrong thing hard, yes, and the right thing easy. Now what we mean by hard is just not horrible or difficult. It's not a punishment. It's just saying, if you do the right thing, in other words, the thing that I'd really love, which is for you to walk beside me on a loose rope and match my pace, then you absolutely get left alone. So that's nice for a horse. We're just connected. I don't have to pull at her, anything. I'm not asking her anything. She's just walking with me. If you barge on, we're just going to do this little circle. So that's all it is. Just a little circle. Round we go. Round we go. Round. So that's hard work for a big thoroughbred. And that's all. So very soon the intelligent horse is going to figure out, okay, that's what I do if I barge off. I have to do these rather boring hard work circles. So what's a much easier deal? This is what Buck Brannaman calls taking the good deal. You offer them the good deal. This is the good deal. And I also like to give them an extra reward. So the idea is that the big reward is being left alone. So the horse has stillness and peace and space, which is valuable to it. So sometimes if she's done something really good, like that, oof, that was very good walking. So I might just give her some space and breathe. She's a little bit worried today because we've had a change in temperature, it's raining. You're okay, Doodle. She didn't particularly want to leave her friends. That was her counter-offer. So do you see she's looking around? But this is a reward for her, just being left to rest. And then I might add in another reward, because she's been so good. Yes. Which is I might scratch her in there. Sweet spots. Yes. Want in the ear? Yes. Okay. I'm actually not touching her here because she doesn't like being touched. She's Princess and the Pea. She doesn't like being touched when she's wet. If I can find a nice dry bit. Yes. And give her a little scratch. No, she doesn't like that. So she's not in the mood for being touched. So today, the scratch isn't going to work as a reward, but it normally would. That's just because we're raining. Oh, darling, did you have a jump? What was it? What was it? Yeah, so we got a slightly jumpy horse. That's okay. But do you see, look, then after the jump, there's nearly a release. Now look at those. Oh, this is good demonstration. Look at those nostrils. Do you see one's higher than the other? Quite obviously. That's my friend Robert Gonzalez. He will stand for hours waiting for nostrils to become even. So I need her. This started as a leading video. It's now a coming down video. She's had a little fright, whatever that was, a pheasant or something. She's now a little unbalanced. You see, little mentally unbalanced. And by that I just mean out of mental balance, not mad. So she's a little bit tight. She's a little bit on alert. She's not soft around the muzzle as I'd like. So I'm just going to wait for all that to come down, all that to come out. And I might do some really lovely deep breathing. You're okay. Yeah, so she's looking back to the field where the other horses are. Are you all right? Do I need to worry about you? This is the thing of being the lead mare. Good girl, you're okay. So there, she's starting to soften a little bit. Those nostrils still not quite even. And the head's still high, so I'm going to wait for that. In the old days, I would have moved in to fix this worry. I'd have got her to do stuff to take her mind off whatever's worrying her. I might have done some of those circles. I'd have got her to yield her hindquarters. I might have walked her back and forth to get her focus on me. And now I prefer to let her do it there, good, on her own, because I think that gives her more confidence, because she can think her way through the problem rather than going into reactive mode. That's what you don't want with a horse. You don't want them to get stuck in reactive mode, because then they're in essentially survival mode and they can't think. They can't think their way through a problem, and then everything becomes a threat. So that's when you get horses jumping in the air when they see a crisp packet. Okay. And this is where you need to be willing to take as long as you need to take. I'm just moving a little closer to her, into her eye line, so that she looks at me instead of what she perceives as something to worry about. But my friend Justin Cahoon says you always look at the whole horse. So there's quite a lot of worry in that face. But look at the whole horse. So her muscles are reasonably relaxed through the body, a little bit tight in the neck, but relaxed through the body. And she's still absolutely under her own control, which is the thing we're always looking for. And that's what the leading is too. She's under her own control, so I don't have to control her. Because I'm never going to be able to control a half-ton flight animal. Not in a million years, no matter how many jiffneys I use. Oh, she's heard a car. So if I can teach her to control herself, then we're off to the races. Yes, we are. And we can gallop as fast as we want, or we can walk as slowly as we want, because she's got all that in her repertoire. Yeah. Look at these nostrils. This is fascinating. This is going to be a much longer video than I thought. Here's another really good rule of thumb, is once you started doing something, you have to finish it. So I've got to wait now until she releases that little bit of anxiety. And that's brilliant for me because I woke up with my brain racing. I've got an awful lot to do in the next month, and I was starting to feel a bit worried about it and overwhelmed by it. And I didn't sleep very well last night. And because now I need to wait with her until she brings herself down, that's made me bring myself down. I can't think about anything else except for her. Good. There it goes. There's the release. And there's the lick and the chew. Good girl. Well done. There's a nice shake. What I'd really love now is a blow. Yeah? Good girl. There you go. There you go. And she's looking again, but much, much less anxiously. Good girl. Well done. Now she's not completely 100% relaxed. I would love her to have blown for you, but we're getting up to 16 minutes now. And that really is quite long. So we'll take her back. Are you going to come back with me? Ah, good. Ah, now that's what we want. Lovely relaxed walk. Good girl. Yeah, so all that worry is pretty much all out. And that was worth waiting for. And there you are. Here is your relaxed horse. And as you can see, I'm just holding the rope. I'm not clinging onto it for grim death. Now this is another lovely thing, is once you've taught the leading, you can go anywhere. Sometimes I like to go right out in front of them and have them follow me. I give them a lot of rope for that, so that if they do get a fright, they can jump to either side of me rather than in me. Or I can walk opposite her drive line. Or, if you walk on, I can walk almost behind her, almost like you're long reining. This is a thing that Anna Blake loves to do. And her theory is that it gives them confidence. If you let them go out in front rather than, oh no, she's going to have something to eat. Okay, I'm going to let her graze for a minute because she's been so good. Yeah, just to finish that thought, you let them go out in front of you, so they're blazing the trail, they're leading the way, and that makes them feel confident. And you're not babying them all the time by saying that you have to go ahead. But that's what I like, is I like my horses to be versatile. I can go in front, I can go by the shoulder, I can go by the quarters. They're equally happy either way. And obviously you need to be able to lead on both sides. Everything on both sides. So those are my thoughts on leading. We got slightly distracted into going up and coming down. But that was a really, really good visual. And it is a Sunday after all, so what else should I be doing but spending 18 minutes talking about my horse? I hope that's useful. And there we are. What a good girl. Oh, we're off again, are we? Yes, what a good girl. There we go. Oh no, look, there's a little bit of anxiety again. So I might just turn her, bring her back to me. And then, because of that little bit of anxiety, I'm choosing to go off in front. Because this is me saying, look, no mountain lions. My body language is really steady, really certain, really sure. I always say to my girls, it's like you've got a great big sign on your back saying everything is fine. I have a plan and everything is fine. They love that. They love purpose. So I can hear her behind me, very relaxed. Yes. And again, this is the lovely thing about this rope, is you can feel the vibrations. So I can feel when she's worried. I can feel when she's happy. I don't need to look at her. Come on then. Yes, there's a release. Good girl. Here we are. Back at the dear old field. Yes. And there's Flo coming to say hello. Yes. Did you miss us? Did you? Ah, there's a big sigh. Good. Well done. Well done. Good girl. There we are, and we breathe. Oh, and just in case you're wondering why my beautifully bred thoroughbred is wet, it's because we don't rug unless we have persistent rain with wind and a temperature drop. That will make her quite shivery and miserable. She's also got woods to go and shelter in. But if it's just light rain like this, and this is going to go away by lunchtime, I won't put a rug on because I want to encourage the growth of the winter coat. And I really hate over rugging. They can get so steamy and sweaty under there. You want to go back in? Yes, you do. Oh, I can't stop filming because you're so beautiful and clever. Yes, my noodle. There we go. Good girl.